The 12th annual budget presented by the Barrow administration was introduced before the House of Representatives today. The government of Belize projects national expenditure of approximately $1.25 billion over the next 12 months, beginning April 1st, 2019.
How government spends monies and allocates resources in these upcoming 12 months of the new financial year is driven by one central preoccupation, one sacred mission: to benefit the citizens of our nation. To benefit those that inhabit, make their way, and organize their lives in our villages and towns and cities and open countryside.
Here's an initial reaction from opposition leader John Briceño following the budget presentation.
Well, we just listened to a lame duck Prime Minister that no energy, no enthusiasm, just going through the motions. Obviously, when you listen to the Prime Minister closely, he was more talking to the IMF, to the multilaterals, and not to the Belizean people, trying to justify all these infrastructure projects to them. Projects that what we've been seeing, as you know, has been singing out that, that it's all about these projects. We know what's going on with all of these projects. I mean, that is why more and more people are referring to this government as the kickback government. I mean, in effect, this is a kickback budget.
The financial plan for the year ahead is set against the scrim of recent economic developments, but it is equally important to view the budget from the perspective of public debt. The public debt is how much a country owes to lenders outside of itself. These can include individuals, businesses, and even other governments.
Madam Speaker, turning to public debt, according to the Central Bank of Belize, the outstanding external debt as of December 2018 totaled $2.556 billion, the equivalent of 66.4% of GDP, while the domestic debt stood at $1.045 billion, or 27.2% of GDP. This gave rise to a total debt of $3.601 billion, or 93.6% of GDP.
That sovereign debt, according to Briceño, continues to balloon under the present government, which he says insists on borrowing heavily.
The point of the matter, or the fact, is that he said he was going to reduce the national debt, and it has increased. When you look our national debt, for instance, the GDP or the economy has grown. He is claimed, well, he finally managed to increase it by $1 billion. We doubled it in less than 10 years. So now, when you compare debt to GDP, it has allowed him to borrow even far more than what we could have borrowed during our time.
In respect of the country's fiscal performance, Prime Minister Barrow anticipates that there will be an additional 2.2% of GDP remaining at the end of the present financial year.
Madam Speaker, with another 2 weeks before the end of the present fiscal year, I can report that the government is projecting the outcome for fiscal year 2018-2019 to outperform the budget that was approved by the House last year. What a difference to when they used to, in fact, bring a budget that we all knew from the start was hollow, and that ended up being absolutely, completely wide of the estimates. We therefore expect, Madam Speaker, to achieve a primary surplus of 2.2% of GDP and to limit the overall deficit to only 0.3% of GDP. With this, we have satisfied the commitment made to our bondholders, really their bondholders. But more importantly, we have demonstrated to the Belizean public our allegiance to sound finances and an investment framework of maximum stability.
The excessive borrowing, says the leader of the opposition, continues to burden all Belizeans financially.
As it is right now, every Belizean man, woman, and child owes in excess of $9,000. Every man, woman, and child owes over $9,000, and he's still telling you, I'm still coming back to borrow more money. When will it stop?
Reporting for News 5, I am Isani Cayetano.